Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I don't have my mic on today. I'm gonna talk a little loud because I just want you to know I'm over here at one of my happy places today. And you know it's that time of the year. The sun is out, but the sun's not gonna last too long. So we need to absorb and take advantage of every opportunity we can, man, while we got this beautiful weather and it's pleasant out here, so we can get some work done on the outside. Today I'm going to share some tips to help you keep your lawn and outdoor spaces looking really nice and vibrant throughout the entire season. So we're going to be talking about grass or lawn. We're going to be talking about shrubberies. We're going to be talking about mulch. We're going to be talking about protecting the CVP pipes. You know, if you have them in your attic area, the attic area of your home, where they could potentially, you know, when we get very, very, you know, dense cold weather, to potentially burst. How to try to prevent catastrophe, because I experienced that once before. So we're going to try to, you know, provide you a tip on how to prevent that from happening, and a host of other things. So look, without further ado, let's go and get into this video. I hope you enjoy it. Again, and the name of this particular video is going to be preparing our living spaces for fall and winter. All right, so stay tuned. It's a quick picture of the house I sold about 2 years ago. Check out the lawn. It's on fire. Okay, here we go. Here now. You know, as summer winds down and the cooler months begin to approach now, you know, now's the perfect time to give your lawn and outdoor spaces the attention they need. You know, early fall is often overlooked, but it's actually one of the most important times of the year to prepare for a healthy lawn, a vibrant landscape, right? Why? You know, because, you know, what you do now directly impacts how your yard is going to look when spring rolls back around, you know. And I know we're just leaving spring, you know, behind that too long ago, but it'll be here, as, you know, before you know it. You know, establishing strong roots, healthy soil, and actually a well-maintained outdoor spaces, you know, are the foundation, you know, of curb appeal that lasts, you know, really year round, right? And remember, you know, curb appeal, you know, doesn't stop, you know, when the temperature drops, right? A well-kept yard in the fall and winter says a lot about your home. It really does. You know, so before we get started, when we talk about chemicals and products, you know, a quick reminder: these tips are designed for homeowners who take care of their own lawn. If you're already paying for professional lawn service, I encourage you to avoid adding, you know, these treatments yourself, because, you know, when you start stacking chemicals, they can actually, you know, do more harm than good. You know, so with that said, let's jump into these tips that I want to share with you guys. You need to start. You can probably start right now. I would start right now if I were you. You know, really one of the best things you can do in early fall is apply, you know, a slow release fertilizer. Right now, unlike, you know, spring fertilizing, which pushes grass to grow quickly, your fall fertilizing focuses on really root development. You know, the nutrients will, you know, slowly feed your lawn through the cooler months, which strengthen the roots so that the grass comes back greener, thicker, and in the spring. And here are, you know, some great options, you know, you'll find at Lowe's or Home Depot. The first there is the Bio Advanced 5-in-1 weed and feed, which tackles weeds while fertilizing, right? And then you had the Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard, our fall lawn food, and this is specifically designed for cooler season, you know, preparation, right? Another very good product, it's a budget-friendly choice from Bigaro, and it offers also, you know, effective weed and feed at a lower cost. And keeping in mind, when we talk about weed, when we say weed, these particular products actually will kill the weeds and retard weed growth. Feed, again, of course, that's your fertilizer. So you have a 2-in-1 product, okay? So you can't go wrong there. You know, and there's another highly recommended Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard. It's called it's a Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard. This product right here, and this is a very highly recommended product because it actually balances strong root growth with weed control. Excellent product. Yeah, you want a better yard lawn next spring? It's the product for you. Now, whichever one of these products you decide upon, right, you can't go wrong. But you are going to need a spreader, right? You're going to need a spreader. Yeah, the spreader is going to ensure that you apply the product evenly, right? You'll have even application. And the key, you know, uh, to apply it evenly is to just follow the instructions on the bag. And of course you want to, after you apply this product, any product to your lawn, you want to water it lightly just to activate the product. And I just wanted to, show you some of the spreaders that are available at Home Depot or at Lowe's. Any one of these spreaders. All you would do is just set it based on the directions, instructions that you'll find on the back of the product bag. Now, the other important thing, you're going to have to continue to do, this goes towards the curb appeal for the most part, to keep everything looking nice and neat. It's the mow and trim. Right? Many homeowners, they kind of stop mowing too early. But believe it or not, keeping up with mowing is essential, actually, until the grass goes into the dormant state or just the growth slows altogether, right? And this is equally important. You should cut the grass to about 2.5 to 3.5 inches, depending upon the grass type, depending on what region of the country you're in. And this height actually shades the soil. It discourages the weed seeds from germinating, and it also reduces the stress on the lawn, right, as it heads into dormancy. Now let's talk about bare spots. If you have bare spots in your yard, bare spots and thin patches stand out more really in the fall and winter than any other time, whether you know it or not. Overseeding during early fall really allows the new grass seed to take advantage of the still warm soil and cooler air, which are ideal conditions for germination. By filling these spots in now, the new grass will develop strong roots before winter arrives, really, which will help blend seamlessly into your lawn by spring. Hey, yeah, and don't forget to, once you've seeded the bare spots, keep the area moist and avoid heavy foot traffic until the new grass is established. I think I lost track. However, we're on number 4, y'all. Trim trees and scrubs to maintain that excellent curb appeal. Because your lawn isn't the only part of your yard that needs attention, right? Trees and scrubs, they should be trimmed and fall to remove overgrowth, dead branches, or any areas that look kind of messy. Trimming not only keeps your landscaping looking neat, but also it prevents branches from breaking under the weight of snow or ice in the months ahead. So this small step has a big payoff. When it comes to curb appeal, a trimmed, well-kept yard looks intentional, even when plants are dormant. Now, this is one I get a lot of questions on. Should I put down mulch in the fall? Absolutely. Check this out. Whether you know it or not, early fall is actually a great time to add a fresh layer of mulch. Not only does it instantly improve the look, of your garden beds, but it also acts as an insulation for plant roots. Think about that, right? But sometimes, come springtime, your plants die. The mulch will actually serve as insulation, to protect and safeguard those roots from dying. Mulch actually helps regulate soil temperature and retain moisture. And again, it protects against early frost. Of course, you want to choose the right color that is, for the most part, permitted by your homeowner association if you have one. You want to choose a color that complements your home exterior for, that added touch of style, right? A fresh coat of mulch in flower beds, around trees, and along sidewalks makes your entire landscape feel polished and maintained. And of course, everybody installs mulch a little bit differently. I have my own way of installing mulch. Instead of raking it in, what I'll do is I'll just put it down like I'm doing right here, right? And then I'll just get down and I like to spread it with my hands, so I'll know that each area, all the areas that I want to cover the mulch in, I'm able to get it covered. In addition to that, it's economy for me. I don't use any more mulch than I actually need. Okay, we're over here at Lowe's right now, and of course, like the sign says, fall for planting. Just because it's getting ready to start getting cold does not mean that you should neglect, your curb appeal and try to find some very beautiful, colorful foliage to decorate the outdoors of your home, or the front porch, if you will. They have a host of mums plants over here, different color, different varieties over here. As you can see, some are smaller than others, but of course you can use these plants to accessorize the exterior of your front porch. You can put them on your patio. Of course, I'm sure you're going to be using your patio as well during the fall. And also, depending upon where you are, in the winter time, you're going to get some very nice, pleasant, comfortable, weather, which will allow you to go out and enjoy the outdoors. But as you can see, some of the colorful plants that you can come over here to Lowe's to actually select to pick up, that could be put in the front of your home, place them in your foyer area. Some of these plants, all of these plants, can be placed on the indoors, and they're gonna thrive very well. All you need to do is just keep them, modestly watered. Now I showed you some of the beautiful plants that they had over at Lowe's, some of the perennials. This is the perfect time, early fall, to put down those new plants so that they could take root. You want to do that prior to the first frost, prior to getting a little cooler. So this is the perfect time. The temperatures haven't quite changed that much yet, but at nighttime, as you know, it's a little bit cooler being early fall. So this is what I'm going to be doing. I have, in this particular plant bed, right here, right off of my patio, of course, you see the overgrowth of these large shrubs here. Earlier, they were much smaller, so actually what I did was I put some perennials in between them, and it looked good initially. If you go back and look at my video reveal of the patio refresh, you'll see where these particular brushes or scrubs were much smaller, and you could also actually see the new perennials that I had planted. I kind of underestimated how large these plants will grow. As you can see, they're quite broad, and so you cannot see the actual perennial that's in between them. There's one there. There's one right here, and of course, this is the other one that's similar to those two. So basically, what I'm going to do, and in this area right here, this was an annuum. Of course, that's dead now, and of course, that's the old annual. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to move those perennials from where I had placed them in between these two large scrubs, right? I'm going to place those, replant those. One's going to go right here, and one is going to go right here, all right? And again, this is the perfect time to do that, in preparation for that first frost of late fall. Okay, so that's done. Just that quick. I've transplanted those perennials that were being stymied and would have died behind those scrubs. I've transplanted them. Now they're exposed to the sun. They'll get all the sunlight they need. They'll get all the water that they need, rainwater that they need. And I planted them just in time, or before the first frost, before it gets too cold, and they're gonna look really nice. As you can see, now I have three. It looks a lot more uniform. 3 perennials. This one was already here, and I just transplanted those that were behind that bush. So if you have some bare area that you need to put some new perennials in, do it now, so they'll be much healthier as they adapt to the ground temperatures and so forth. So by springtime, they're gonna be looking beautiful. Okay. Yeah, just to recoup, guys. If you have bare spots in your plant bed and you want some long-term structure there, some color in your garden, perennials is the way to go, and right now is the best time to go ahead and put those down. And after planting, you might want to consider a frost protection, depending upon how close they are to your house, or if this is something you want to think about doing. There's a product right here that I want to share with you guys. It's called the blanket, and what it does is acts like a blanket. It shields the plants from frost damage and things of that nature. And this product also comes in different sizes. I saw this one right here over at Lowe's just the other day. Okay, number 7 has to be windows. Windows. Now's a good time to get outside and wash those windows. Nothing is more cozy than waking up early in the morning on a cold winter morning. It may be snow on the ground, but it's cold, frisky outside, and you can sit inside your nice, cozy morning room or living room or dining room or lay in your bed and observe the light coming through the windows. But you're not going to get any light if those windows are not clean. So windows have to be number 7. Yeah, clean those windows, man. Very, very important. And of course, if you have a split level home, it'd be more difficult to get up top, perhaps, unless you have a large ladder. But of course, for certain, make sure you clean those windows on the lower level. I pay especially attention to my windows due to the fact that I have a real cozy little morning room here. And like I said, I enjoy sitting in there early in the morning on a cold day, enjoying a cup of coffee, perhaps a cup of tea, maybe snuggling a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, number 7 has to be, take some time out while it's warm outside and wash these windows, because I'm gonna tell you something. When it gets cold outside, you're not gonna be one to, stick your hand in any water or play with no suds trying to clean windows. So number 7, clean those windows. Yeah, number 8, right? Clear the eaves and porches. Remove the debris. You know what I mean by that? During the fall, it's also a good time to clean under your eaves and the porches. You want to, go ahead and remove those ugly, unsightly cobwebs. You might have a wasp nest or two stuck up in the corner and other debris, that can kind of accumulate over the summer months, which, leaves your home looking neglected. I think I try to clear this stuff out, because it's going to give your entryway a tidy, a welcoming appearance, that neighbors and guests, will definitely notice. Now, it's still pretty pleasant out right now, and I'm still enjoying my front porch. So I'm not going to keep this covered. However, I just want to introduce this product to you. I purchased this product from Temu. Once it gets a little frigid and I can no longer enjoy my sitting out on my front porch, I'm going to go ahead and cover them up like so. And the reason why this is important, I'm going to do the exact same thing, of course, on my patio. Again, this is a product I purchased from Temu. I got the 2 chairs. They fit perfectly. And also the long, lengthy cover for the couch. Outdoor furniture is an investment, and the fall is the time to really protect it, and you want to use waterproof covers or store your furniture, indoors to prevent, damage from rain, frost, or snow, because you don't have to rebuy this stuff every year. Taking just a little time now saves money in the long run, and it's going to ensure that your furniture is ready, to enjoy again in the spring without extra cleaning or repairs. Now, I want to include this really quick. This is really, really important, because this is going to save you can save you a potential catastrophe and a lot of money. I don't know who idea it is for some of these builders to actually install. These are PVC pipes. I think that's the way you pronounce it. To install PVC pipes, uninsulated, non-insulated, however you pronounce it, inside in an area in your home that has minimal insulation, i.e. Your attic. I had a bad experience once where in a home that I purchased, I owned a few years ago, where the PVC pipes were in the attic leading to my water heater up there, I believe, and they actually had a deep freeze and they burst. So you can just imagine, I was away from home at work. When I came home, my ceiling and a certain portion of my home had completely caved in. So if your home has exposed PVC pipes, particularly in the attic, they need insulation before freezing temperatures arrive. Trust me, unprotected pipes can burst or rupture, if you will, when water expands as it freezes, leading to expensive water damage, and you don't want that. So insulating the pipes is simple and inexpensive, and it's one of the smartest preventive steps you can take. So we're gonna move outside on number 11, y'all. Okay, back outside. Protect your outdoor faucets. Another very, and this is affordable and effective, because your outdoor faucets are another vulnerable spot during the colder months, right? Of course, you're gonna leave the water dripping once you get the notification, of a pending freeze, if you will, overnight freeze. Fortunately, protecting them is easy, and inexpensive. At Lowe's, you'll find options such as the sock that I just now showed you. It's called a soft faucet sock, and also there's two little cases you can put on top of your faucet outside. There's a dense acrylic. One has a dense acrylic cover for added durability, and the other is a more of a styrofoam. Has a styrofoam cover, which again, both of them work equally as well. Okay, but these are some little gadgets, if you will, resources that you need to have available to you. And again, these are some items that you want to get now. You want to purchase these now, because once we get a notification, no matter where you are, if it gets cold where you are, if it freezes, once that notification or alert goes out, trust me, there will be a run on Home Depot and Lowe's to pick them up, in the same way that folks run out to get eggs and bread in a storm. Okay, so by all means, go ahead and pick you up a couple of these. They're really, really inexpensive. I think the styrofoam is about $2. The more dense covered acrylic covered one right here is like around $4 and something. So yeah, this is a must-have for the winter months. Okay, depending upon where you live, right? Depending upon where you live, if you need a snow shovel, you better get it now, because this is one of those items that it will not be around when you need it if you don't get it now. It's gonna fly off the store shelves like hotcakes. You must get you a shovel. Best time to invest in a shovel is to go ahead and purchase one now. I think they're just now starting to stock them at Lowe's and Home Depot. But if you cannot get one at Lowe's and Home Depot, go ahead on Amazon, go on Temu, grab you a snow shovel. Because when you need a snow shovel, you need a snow shovel. Okay, so there you have it, y'all. What was that? 8 or 9 simple tips? Simple, but important and powerful tips to get your outdoor spaces ready for fall and for winter. Whether it's protecting your plants, cleaning up the yard, adding a final layer of mulch to either your front yard plant bed or your backyard plant bed. These small steps, I believe, these are steps in which I implemented myself. It's going to make a big difference in keeping your home looking great and ready to thrive in the spring. Because spring will be here before you know it. All right. So without further ado, hey, thank you all. Don't forget to check me out on Dining with EA, my cooking channel, and go ahead and like and subscribe. And don't forget to subscribe so you can go with me on this upcoming Southwest Asia trip that I'll be starting on November the 5th. It'll be from November the 5th through November 28th. Okay. So without further ado, hey, thank you all a lot. Thanks for joining me. Again, my name is EA, and you're chilling with EA. Peace.